Hello, my darlings. Welcome to the video. I want to talk about I want to teach you how to protect yourself a little bit from other people, and it's not just people, or better said, not just alive people, because a lot of times when you're talking to someone and they are evil, now evil, someone can be a little bit evil, someone can be very evil. It's a spectrum. But there are people in this world who don't have good intentions, and they don't wish well for other people. These are the people dwelling in very low vibrations, and these are the people that are not just them. Because always when there is someone like that, when you're talking to them, it's not just them. They have a lot of other people with them. I'm not talking about spirit guides. I'm talking about people. So first thing I want to teach you is that people dwelling in low vibrations, and especially narcissists, because these are the most numerous, unfortunately, nowadays. I know psychologists say that 1 in 5 people is a narcissist. No. 3 in 5 people. 3 in 5 people are narcissists. One of them is healing, but not enough. And only one of them really working. Really. As a matter of fact, I'm so disappointed by the current state of humanity that I'm willing to bet it's actually 7 out of 10 people who are narcissists. And then the other 3 people, relatively good. So, because humanity on a general level is vibing so low, there are tricks that the elite of the dark spheres of life use. Now, in some cases, they don't even need to use those tricks because humans do it themselves. Whether we're talking about spiritual warfare or literally basic day-to-day things that are harmful. Now, the reason why they do harm to others is because they're not there. They're not present. A narcissist is not there. That's why I tell you, you're not talking to that person. It's not just them there. A narcissist is basically someone with a cut cord to their spirit self. Their spirit self is so numb and so degraded because it's been so ignored. And a narcissist is basically a soul who, lifetime after lifetime, has been dwelling in low consciousness and attaching to themselves very, very bad stuff. So all the mentalities, all the ideas, all the malice that soul is living in is attached to them as a soul. And all of that is preventing the core of them as a soul to really purge and really get through to them, to their human mind. Their human mind is not anything, it's just and always when there's a narcissist, it's not just one narcissist there. Because what happens with those people, they don't rely on their own life force. They don't rely on beautiful things to feed themselves with in terms of energy, in terms of, like I said, life force. Because you don't just exist based on your body. There's a reason why, you know, we die. There's a reason the soul gets out of the body and then the body just is useless. The body wouldn't function, wouldn't even be lit without the soul in it. But the soul in it, before we're talking about physical food, physical nourishment, we need to understand spiritual food, spiritual nourishment. And that is primarily internal. That is something you build for yourself and you rejuvenate yourself with. And that's love. That's beauty. That's harmony. That's pleasure. All of the things that are beautiful in life and things that bring you joy, those are the things you fill up your battery again with. And this is why the nowadays world is giving their best to try to cut us from our passions and our spirit. Now, a narcissist doesn't even have that to begin with. Normal people who are in contact with their soul and in contact with their core self, such people, we have passions, we have hobbies, we have interests that are authentic to us. It's something that I want. I'm talking right now about this and I'm making this video right now and all the other videos on my channel because this is what I want and it's genuinely what I want. It's not, you are doing the things you love because you love them. And it's your authentic calling to do those things. A narcissist doesn't have that. They are so numb. They don't understand that. And all of the things they do and all of the things they chase are things they use to get approval with. Because this is what narcissists live on and live with. They cannot live with themselves. They are so detached from their true self, their soul self. They don't understand that and they don't believe in that. No matter how much they pretend, they're disconnected from that entirely. Like, all of those people in spiritual communities who talk about, forgiveness and understanding and, we should realize that they're not evil people, they're just lost. They're not. They're not lost. They are evil people. And I'm tired of all those people out there in delusional mindsets making excuses for narcissistic behaviors. They're just lost. They don't know what they do. They do know what they do. This is the point. They know exactly what they do. Okay? Stop making excuses for them. They are evil and they are aware of that. Don't let yourself be fooled. They are aware of that. but they try to mask it because they know it's not good, because they know they won't ever be accepted by other people if they admit it. They know what they do. And if you're so blind and stupid that you think that they don't, well, pardon me, you deserve to be abused by them until you finally realize that they do know what they do, and you stop making excuses for them and you stand up for yourself. To convince yourself of the fact that they do know what they do, you can even watch people on YouTube or social media that are narcissists, and they talk about narcissism from their own perspective. They know what they do. So there's no excuse. Now, pointing this out, I want to tell you that it's not, like I said in the beginning is not just them there. Because a narcissist is so disconnected from their true self and their life force, when they die, they don't detach from the material plane. Usually, when someone dies, basically they are supposed to get into the non-physical again, fully. Because no matter how many times you come incarnate, your soul self is always in the non-physical. Duh. I met a girl once. She really thought that when we come incarnate, we stop existing as souls in the spirit world and we only exist in the physical world. It's like, what? No. No. That'd be stupid. So, when you come incarnate, you inhabit the body, but you still exist as a soul in the spirit world. Now, the spirit world has layers. I call them circles or spheres. You can call them whatever you want. You can even imagine it like a big house with many stories. However you want to imagine it. The fact is that the spirit world is not a place where all souls just meet one another and they interact with one another. There are levels of consciousness and levels of soul existence. Souls that are vibing very high and are very high in consciousness and emotional ability, they are at a different layer of existence in the spirit world. So for these souls, it's a lot easier to detach from the material plane once they die. Once their physical self dies, and the soul fully leaves the body, basically at that point you regain your spiritual sight, and you can see all of your spirit guides around you. And all of those spirit guides are supposed to be like, oh, hey, okay, we're done here now, let's go home. Let's go. And they pull you in the sphere of consciousness where you belong. Usually, those spirit guides, for souls that are part of collectives, let's say the human collective or the Syrian collective, the Arcturian collective, like collectives of planets. The souls that are still in the cycle of life and death. When you die, the souls that take you in the sphere of spirit where you belong are the souls of your soul family. They can definitely be assisted by your angels. But this is the difference. The angels are not souls that are in the cycle of life and death anymore. There are two types of angels. Angels that were directly created as angels. And then angels that were once human, or they were part of another collective, Lyran, Arcturian, Syrian, whatever. And they ascended, and they got out of the cycle of life and death, and now they don't need to come incarnate anymore, and they are angels now. So there are these two types of angels. So when you die, it's souls from your own soul family that are still part of the cycle of life and death, but they are from your soul family. So they need to be there when you die, so that they pull you back into the cell of your soul family where you belong. And your angels assist you with that. There can be moments when a soul family is so divided. Let's say some souls are very high in consciousness and some souls are very low. Unfortunately, at that point, that soul family is divided. The cell of their soul family still exists, but there's a rapture in it. And some of those souls will be taken to higher spheres of consciousness. Some of those souls will be taken to other spheres of consciousness where they belong. Okay, this needs to be done. So when you die, you need to detach from the physical world in order to go back to that spirit bubble where you belong. You can imagine it like that. Now, this doesn't mean that you will forever stay in that spirit bubble, that it's the bubble of your soul family. You will travel the spirit world. You can definitely do that. And after you die, you go to your soul family, and then you travel a bit after you heal a bit from the life you just had. You travel a little bit more in the spirit world, where you gain some further knowledge as a soul from different guides, and then you come incarnate again. But that's heaven. Kind of heaven. That's purgatory, to say so. This is what happens for souls who still need to come incarnate, but are good. You get into the bubble of your soul family, you travel through some different realms where you meet some spirit guides. They teach you certain stuff that you need to understand further on in your soul evolution, and then you come incarnate again to integrate more knowledge and more of those lessons. Until you get out of the cycle of life and death. But that's only if you are a good soul. Souls that are evil, they don't have this. They go to hell. But before that, they need to detach from earth. They need to detach from the realm of incarnation they came into. And because they're so stupid, they don't detach. Because they weren't able to do that throughout their lifetime. And because throughout their lifetime they were so numb, so stupid, so devoid of spirit and kindness and love and willingness to understand and empathize and evolve as a person and as a soul, they don't detach. So when they die, they literally become ghosts. But it's not like they just roam around. They become disincarnate beings. Disincarnate beings need to attach to someone who is incarnate in order to keep on surviving. So, because they're so numb spiritually, when they die, they don't see their spirit guides there. They don't see their angels because, truthfully, throughout their lifetime, they were not connected to their angels. They were not connected to their spirit guides. They were only connected to low-vibing entities, such as, demons. But those demons don't show up for them. Why would they? because those demons are narcissists themselves, just that they are on a higher plane spiritually. So when those human souls that are narcissists or sociopaths or just all sorts of evil creatures, they become disincarnate entities, and they need to latch onto someone in order to keep on surviving. Just like they did it when they were alive. Because, as you probably already know, narcissists, they just feed on your energy. That's why they want to trigger you in every way possible. That's why they want to latch onto you before they're dead. They just need what psychologists call narcissistic supply. And that narcissistic supply is emotional, because they don't have that themselves, and they need you for that. They need your emotions, they need your reactions, they need to, it's something so sick that they need to feel like they have power over someone else, because they don't have power over themselves, because this is what true power is. And because they are so weak within themselves and so insecure and so filled with trauma and hurt and pain and evil, they need to propel that onto someone else and to project that onto someone else, project all the bad that they have within onto someone else, so that it's someone else dealing with that, and everything good within someone else, they want to take that to them. So this is the narcissistic exchange that they want. They want to give you whatever is bad within them, and they want to take whatever is good within you. Again, they know what they're doing. Don't be stupid. Don't make excuses for them. That's what they want. They want you to be stupid. They want you to think that they don't know what they do. Okay. So they feed on your energy. And when I say your energy, I mean you, all of you who are still good, kind souls. And as a matter of fact, they don't even care about that. Even when a narcissist meets another narcissist, they still try to do the same thing. But because it's another narcissist, they don't have that much of a life force to steal from. And they will try to steal from one another, but because neither of them has enough life force energy, you know. And that's why when they meet someone who is authentic, who is nice, who is beautiful, who is just filled with joy, they want that. They feed on, they want to feed onto that. So they do this throughout their life. So they will want to do it after they're dead as well. Now, here is where things get even more sick. Because when they die, like I said, they want to latch onto someone else. They usually go to members of the same family. It's a lot easier. They know those people better. It doesn't really happen that they attach to strangers. Sometimes it can happen under certain circumstances. But the people they go to is members of their own family, and the younger they are, the better. Basically, evil souls, they have an obsession with children. Because children are pure, A lot of people, once they grow up, they lose that purity, unfortunately. Children are still anchored in love. Like, that's how we should all be. And children don't really have, children haven't wasted their life force. So let's say we're talking about someone who's a narcissistic person and they are 60 years old and they die. Their children, are the ones who take care of things and they organize their funeral. They won't attach to their children because by the time they are 60, their children are probably in their 30s or even 40s. So more often than not, when we're talking about the narcissistic parent, there are very high chances that their children will also be narcissists. Actually, that's how a narcissist is made. By another narcissist. It's a never-ending loop. Now, pardon me, it is ending, but at a high cost. Thanks to people like me and you who come incarnate in such stupid families and need to end the generational curse. So, if their children are narcissists as well, obviously they will not attach to their children. They will go for their grandchildren. And even if they have great-grandchildren, even better. The younger the person, the better. And because it's the same family, it's easy for them to attach because of blood and because that person knows them. And because when they were alive, that person, because it's a person brought up into a family of narcissists, it was conditioned right away to have no boundaries. So that child just doesn't have any boundaries, consciously and spiritually. So it's easy for them to attach to that child. Also, when we're talking about a family of narcissists, they have no connection to spirit. So I'll give you my example. I am very spiritual. I have a lot of spiritual gifts, but I was born into such a family, and because of that, I didn't have access to them for a very long time because of the way I was brought up. Okay, so the narcissist that dies attaches to the youngest person in their family that is there, either when they die, either at their funeral, either in the house where they were living, either in the surroundings. It's very easy for them to do this, to attach. The biggest problem with this is that this goes on for generations. That's why I tell you, when you're talking to a narcissist, it's not just them there. It's their grandpa or grandma attached to them, their great-great-great-grandma and their great-great-great-great-great-great-grandma, and all of those generations of narcissists that attached to one another. Literally, you can picture that person with a mountain of disincarnate beings attached to them that are eating at their soul. This is how it is like. I once saw someone like that, how they are like in spirit, how it looks like. It's not nice. The person had fiery eyes, and like it was as if they were bleeding, and like the eyes were like coming out of the eye sockets. And this is also something you can notice with narcissists when they are alive as well. Some of them really have like eyes like that, like it's as if they come out of their eye sockets, because all of their life they just always scan their surroundings for the next victim and for possible attackers, because they always live in this mindset that they either need to attack or defend. And because they always just scan their surroundings like that for people, and they always analyze people and stuff like that, it's like their eyes literally come out. And that person that I saw in the spirit world had a lot of other people attached to them, and like literally there were hands coming out. It was fire all around, and hands coming out of that fire. And this person was trying to grab me, and when they reached with their hand for me, their nails were like really, you know how dead people nails look like? Yeah, that's how their nails looked like. And the malice that I saw in their eyes, such evil and such thirst to do harm and so much hatred. This is how they really look like. This is their true self. The physical body that you see, that's just the physical body. But this is the real image of their spirit. Exactly what I just described. So when you're interacting with a narcissist, it's not just them there. It's them and 1,000 voices of dead ancestors rippling to one another, whispering, not just whispering, no, they're yelling at one another to do harm, to hurt, to latch on to other people. And that's why they are so starved and so desperate, because it's not just one thirsty narcissist there, it's 1,000. 1,000 dead ancestors, disincarnate at this point, that need life force to feed themselves with. This is what you're facing when you're interacting with such people. Be aware of this. It's a ton of them there. You see one body, one physical body, but it's not just one person there. Be aware of this. Don't let yourself be fooled by such people. They will pretend and use a lot of tactics, a lot of manipulation. Don't interact. Do not engage with such people. I do advise you, study the patterns of such people so that you can spot them fast, so that you know to stop interacting with them, to cut any chance that they may have at attaching to you and sipping from your life force, because they don't deserve that. And we need to be aware of this. And if you have parents, grandparents, parents, relatives in any way that are narcissists, and you still talk to them, and you will do that until they die, and you'll be the one taking care of their funeral, watch out. They will try to latch onto you. They will try to eat you away. Watch out for your children as well. I am a bit extreme, and whenever we're talking about narcissists, I always advise no contact. I don't care, your mother, your father, whatever, they're not your mother and your father. If your parents gave you traumas, they're not your parents. That's not what a parent is. So you can discard them, just as they discarded you when you were a child. But I know a lot of people don't have the courage to do this. So if you still wanna be their slave, when they die, watch out. And watch out for these people on a general level, because there are a lot of them. A lot. And it's a spiritual warfare in this world, and unfortunately it's no longer the case of us fighting beings that are, you know, the bosses of the evil groups. No. We're literally against our own kin. We're literally in a spiritual warfare against the people next to us. Because you can be light and love all day long. If your neighbor is a narcissist, they won't listen to you. No matter how much you want to help them, awaken them, show them a good way of living life, they won't listen. They don't want to. They don't care. The only thing they care about is making you rot because of them and for them, and giving everything you have away for them. So primarily, in terms of human interaction, the spiritual warfare we're fighting is with the humans we interact with on a daily basis, unfortunately. If you have a job, a normal job, a 9 to 5, inevitably you will have to interact with such people. If you go shopping, you will interact with such people. Every time you go out of your house, there are so many chances you will interact with such people. You need to be aware and protect yourself, protect your energy. Do not let them feed on you. And be aware. Be aware. And don't make excuses for those people. Because those excuses are exactly what's going to lead you into the trap. Be strong. And in order to be strong, you need to be a little bit ruthless. Okay. And advice also. I want to let you know about advice. Whenever people give you unsolicited advice, watch out. The best example I can think of right now, and I wanted to talk about this for a very long time. Many times I've had people tell me that I should cut my hair. Random people. Unfortunately, it wasn't just random people. My biological so-called mother was the most active person when it comes to this. And ever since I was a teenager and I started, well, no, not a teenager, ever since I was a child, She always wanted me to have short hair, always. And every time I was letting my hair grow, she would always be like, got it, and she would always just give me a lot of reasons for it, stupid reasons. But she would give her best to convince me to cut my hair. She was so obsessive about this. And for a very long time, I couldn't understand why. 1, she was envious. 2, she was envious. 3, she was envious. 4, the beings that whisper in her ear were telling her to tell me to cut my hair because hair is a symbol, an emblem of spiritual power, and it's a connection. It's something that helps you connect to your spirit self and to energy all around you. Basically, hair is an extension of your nervous system, but hair is more like a antenna to catch frequencies. And it wasn't just her. I'll give you another example. I went to a shop at one point. I bought something. I was waiting in line. Now, the lady that was at the counter, her mother was in the shop. This is Romania right here. Okay, it's normal. These things are normal here. Depends what kind of shop it is. I think it was her mother, because of their interaction. She didn't specifically call her her mother. I don't remember exactly. It was a little bit longer ago. But this is the feeling I got, that it was her mother, based on their interaction. And out of the blue, that woman started talking to me. And she was like, oh, you have such a long hair. And this is something people tell me all the time, because I do. Yeah, I do. But this woman was like, oh, you have such a long hair, you should cut it. And I had a weird reaction to what she said, because what she said was weird. Like, it's none of your business. And she was like, you have a beautiful body, you should let your body be seen. We cannot see it with your hair that long. Huh? What? It doesn't make any sense, but stay in your lane. Now, obviously, it didn't have anything to do with her wanting me to show my body. It was the same thing. Envious, and the fact that those people were, those disincarnate entities on her were whispering to her to tell me these things. And immediately after she said that, she also said, and this is something that all the old women here with short hair, they all told me the same thing. They say, when I was young like you, I used to have long hair like you as well, but then I cut it. So that's the problem, huh? That you no longer have that long hair, and you see me with long hair, and you're envious. So you tell me to cut my hair as well. Fuck off. But it's not just about the envy. This one with hair, I talked about this in previous videos, and I'll always talk about this. Hair is so important for you spiritually. It's vital that you don't cut your hair. Don't keep it short. don't. Okay, maybe for some people that works. But hair is not supposed to be cut short. There's a reason it grows. And it's an extension of your nervous system. But it's an extension into the spirit field. It's just like spiders. Spiders have hair on their body so that they can feel every vibration on their web. Similarly for us. We have hair so that we can feel things that are not so physical. And this is one example of advice that is ill. And it comes from envy. And it's basically meant to convince you to do things that are harmful for you. Because that's what they want. Another example, like these people, they just do, sometimes they do spells without even realizing what they do. I was into an argument at one point with some relatives when I was still talking to them. And one woman, biologically one of my grandmothers, she's not a grandmother. She's just someone who hates me. She was at the table and she was not sitting. I was sitting and she was leaning on the table and she had her hand like this. Like this. I don't remember which hand exactly, but it was like this. And initially I didn't notice. We were conversing and I was basically exposing them. And at one point I felt something in my throat chakra. I felt something like a blockage, like something that I couldn't speak. And then immediately I looked at her. She was right next to me on my left side with her hand like this. And I looked at her and I asked her, "Why do you have your hand like that?" And when I said that, she looked at me and she woke up as if from a trance. And she was like, "I don't know, I just feel like doing it." And then she moved and she went to the other side of the table and sat down next to someone else. Can you guess what she was actually doing? It wasn't her. I bet it wasn't her consciously that was doing this thing with the hand and trying to project that onto me. It was the beings that walk with her. They don't really walk, they just sip from her energy. So even things as small as these ones, and always when you interact with these people, do not react. Do not react. Because the moment you react, that's when you agree to engage with them. And that's when your fields commune. That's when they lead. That's when they take from you. And that's when, unfortunately, part of their field interacts with your field, and they can kind of imprint on it, like not imprint, but they can kind of leave a mark onto it, onto your field, onto your energy. And if you keep having thoughts about them, if you keep getting annoyed, hurt by them, it's as if they literally have like a hose, even if you're at a distance. But if you keep thinking about them, and if you keep consuming yourself based on what they did and what they said and how they made you react, they'll still get your energy, even if they are in another neighborhood. They're very dangerous, and they're very malevolent and manipulative. So don't interact with those people. And unfortunately, a lot of people are still enablers, even once they wake up, because they tell themselves a lot of limiting beliefs, such as, oh, but they are my family, I cannot stop talking to them. Yes, you can. They're not your family. Had they been your family, they would have loved you. And if you have a narcissistic parent and you think that deep down they do love you, you're stupid. But well, you're allowed to live in your own delusion until you wake up. And I would love to see more and more people actually delivering consequences to those people. Because this is the only thing they respond to. The only thing they respond to. All of those people in spiritual communities that teach love and forgiveness and all of that, yeah, great. Give love and forgiveness and compassion to people who can understand that and can value that. Do not give your love and compassion and don't be understanding and forgiving with people who don't understand what that is. People who only think that you're stupid when you're forgiving. Because as a matter of fact, if you forgive a narcissist, yes, you are stupid. I'm not talking about carrying a grudge and letting yourself be consumed by what they did. That's not what I'm talking about. The kind of forgiveness I'm talking about is the forgiveness of, oh yes, I forgive you and I will keep talking to you. For these people, that forgiveness is a green light to keep doing what they did. They don't want to change. Keep that in mind. These people don't want to change. They never want to change. They will never change. Once a soul is so low that it reaches the point of narcissism, it will take them 72 lifetimes to get out of it. 72. And enablers and stupid people are still here waiting for them to change, to do something, to become better because they promised that they will. They won't. Don't be delusional. Don't be stupid. Don't be forgiving of people that literally don't deserve forgiveness. These people deserve only consequences. That's the only thing they listen to. That's the only way they learn. And it will take them 72 lifetimes to get out of narcissism, because throughout those lifetimes, for 60 of those lifetimes, they will still be a narcissist. It's only in the latter part of that cycle that they will try to get out. because they will be faced with consequences. That's the only moment they will ever try to get out. And the reason for this is that the other people around them are stupid enough to forgive them time and time and time and time and time and time again. Because humanity has been brainwashed into thinking that blind forgiveness and blind kindness are virtues. They're not. They're just ways of making yourself a victim. On and on again. Okay. So the only way to make this world a better world when it comes to these people is to be ruthless with them, is to not tolerate them, is to take them out of your life, throw them away from your environment, because you cannot thrive with such people around you. And when they are alone, that's the only way for them to actually be faced with themselves, by force. They will never want to face themselves. They'll try to run away from themselves on and on again with each interaction they can, with every human they can. That's why when you see normal people, they have every type of small talk and every type of gossip that you can think of, and all sorts of stupid discussions uselessly. For us, it seems useless, pointless, but for them it's not. Because any kind of discussion, any kind of conversation on any given topic is an escape from an interaction with themselves. That's their biggest fear. Exactly the thing that will propel them into being better. But they don't want that. They don't think. As a matter of fact, narcissists don't even believe there is a better. They lie to themselves so much that they genuinely think that everyone is like them, just that you and me fake it better. That's literally what they think. In their mind, they normalize their behavior so much that they really think, they want to believe that everyone is just like them. It's normal, it's okay to be like that, everyone is like that. I just have to be better at playing this game. That's what's in their mind. They don't believe you when you tell them you love them. They don't believe you when you're kind. They don't believe you. They just think you're stupid. They just think you're not understanding the game that they're playing. And they just think you're stupid. So don't engage. Just don't engage with them whatsoever. Let them live life on their own terms, in their own ways. They will find other narcissists to mingle with, and eventually they will rot one another until they die. But if you're a good soul, you don't deserve that. You don't deserve to have them around you. And again, I keep saying it. The only way these people will face themselves is if we truly deliver the consequences that they deserve. But those consequences will never come by being forgiving, by being compassionate. No, be compassionate with someone who understands what compassion is and who will value it. Don't be compassionate with such creatures. Okay. This is my spiritual perspective on narcissism. Well, this is really what it is from a spiritual point of view. If you want to listen to this message, great. If you don't want to listen to this message, keep being a victim. But I hope a lot of people will become stronger and understand that we don't need to tolerate shit. Okay, you have the power to do it and to stand up for yourself in all circumstances. Again, you just need to believe in yourself. Keep shining.